François Edouard Joachim Coppée was a French poet and novelist. Biography. He was born in Paris to a civil servant. After attending the Lycée Saint-Louis, he became a clerk in the Ministry of War, and won public favor as a poet of the Parnassian school. His first printed verses date from 1864. In 1869 his first play, Le Passant, was received with approval at the Odie Theatre, and later François Edouard and Les Bijoux de la Délivrance, short poetic dramas inspired by the Franco-Prussian War, were applauded. After holding a post in the Library of the Senate, Coppée was chosen in 1878 as archivist of the Comédie Française, an office he held till 1884. In that year his election to the Académie Française caused him to retire from all public appointments. He was made an officer of the Legion of Honor in 1888. Coppée was famed as Le Poète des Humbles. His verse and prose focus on plain expressions of emotion, patriotism, the joy of young love, and the pitifulness of the poor. He continued to write plays, mostly serious dramas in verse, too, in collaboration with Armand d'Artois. The performance of a short episode of the Commune, Le Pater, was prohibited by the government in 1889. Coppée published his first prose work in 1875, and went on to publish short stories, an autobiography of his youth, a series of short articles on miscellaneous subjects, and La Bonne Souffrance, a popular account of his reconversion to the Roman Catholic Church. His conversion was due to a severe illness which twice brought him close to death. He was also interested with public affairs, joining the most violent section of the nationalist movement and taking a leading part against Alfred Dreyfus in the Dreyfus Affair. He was one of the founders of the Ligue de la Patrie Française. Criticism. The poet Arthur Rimbaud, a young contemporary of Coppée, published numerous parodies of Coppée's poetry. Rimbaud's parodies were published in L'Album Zoutique. Most of these poems parody the style and form of some short poems by Coppée. Rimbaud published them under the name François Coppée. Works: Poetry Le Reliquaire, Intimité, Poe Acute Emis Modernes, Les Humbles, Le Cahier Rouge, Olivia, The Exilée, Comtesse en Vers, Poems et Acute Cites, Arrière César, Paroles Sincères, Dans la prière et la lutte, Vers français, Salut, Petit Jesus, Plays Le Passant, translated into Portuguese by Alves Crespo as Sonho and published in 1905. Deux Adulas, François Edouard, L'Abandonné, Les Bijoux de la Délivrance, Le Rendez-vous, Prologue d'ouverture pour les matins de la Gaîté, Le Luthier de Crémone, La Guerre de Saint-Étienne, Le Trésor, La Bataille d'Hernani, La Maison de Molière, Madame de Maintenon, Servaro Torelli, translated into Portuguese by Jamie Victor and Macedo Papanca, Visconde de Monserrat, and performed in Lisbon at the National Theatre in 1887. Published in the same year. Les Jacobites, Le Pater, translated into Portuguese by Margarida Asiqueira as O Pater. Paula Caron, translated into English by John Davidson as For the Crown and performed at the Lyceum Theatre, London, in 1896. For the Crown was performed at Covent Garden as a prize-winning opera, The Cross and the Crescent, with music by Colin McAlpin in 1903. Prose works: Une idle pendant le siege, Toute une jeunesse, Les Vraies Riches, Le Coupable, Mon Franc Parler, La Bonne Souffrance. Works in English translation: 10 Tales, True Riches, Blessed of the Poor, Coppée and Maupassant Tales. Tale for Christmas and Other Seasons. A Romance of Youth, A Piece of Bread, in International Short Stories. Paternoster. The Wounded Soldier in the Convent, in War Poems and Other Translations by Lord Curzon. The Lord's Prayer.